And the qualifications group at the moment are working on the guidance documentation that go with that personal learning plan. So this will be developed under 3 headings. Initially the policy guidance, and then there will be guidance for the students on what they have to do, and then guidance for the assessors, the ones who are going to actually do the exam, act as examiners. These will be developed over the course of the next few months. And the third element of the process, the interview, that would be trained assessors holding an NAR qualification. They would mark the portfolio that had been submitted using a standardised marking scheme, and then they'd interview each candidate. And that would lead to an international certificate at the intermediate level, which would then be a transferable measure of competence. So whether someone got that in India or Australia or the UK wouldn't make any difference. It would still have the same validity. Remember, I did say though that it doesn't include any local legislation. So if the new Indian Institute wished to use this as the basis of entry into the body at a certain grade of membership, then you need to be aware that it would not include anything about Indian regulations. So you might want to test that in some other way. And there are various ways of doing that. This is another illustration of the qualification levels that I talked about. So starting at the bottom, we have the W201 Basic Principles course, the 6 modules leading to the International Certificate, and the advanced level, which are being used in university master's courses. Possibly leading to a professional level qualification in countries that don't have their own examination system currently. If we now look at the likely users of the website, there are various stakeholders involved that are shown in this diagram. So if we start at the bottom, we've got the large companies that really started this whole ball rolling. The students, obviously, the national associations that belong to IOHA, the training providers, the examination or assessment boards, government agencies who are interested in having qualified people in their countries, and where they exist, trade unions. So lots of different stakeholders involved. This is the picture of the home page. Provides access to materials, courses, assessment and certification bodies, and also acts as the forum for collaboration amongst global occupational hygiene community. There are 3 tabs on each page. The blue tab is to learn about protecting the health of people at work. The red tab is to find materials relating to training courses and events. And the green tab is to join the community and discuss the training. There is an animated demo at the bottom down here, linked from the bottom of every page. So if you're not sure where to find something, that's probably the best place to start. Why it's important, why people should get qualified, and some information about roles in occupational hygiene. So occupational hygienists can work full-time in industry. They can work as consultants, as I do myself. They can work for regulators. They can work in academia, and some work for the military. There is also information about the qualifications scheme, the different qualification levels that I've talked about, and a register of the people who've actually got the qualification. So that's available on the website. It's not necessarily a full register because we have to ask permission if people will allow their names to be put on the website for data protection reasons. So long as they've given us their permission, they will be on the website. There's also information about the national associations. This is the one for the Italian Association, and information about IOHA itself, the International Occupational Hygiene Association. Turning to the red tab, this is listing training events, and you can define which country you want to look for events, or the topic, or the level, or any of those. This search has been done looking for events in Brazil, and 2 have been listed. There's also information about the courses themselves. This is the W201 Basic Principles course. 28 current events available. What I'd hope to see in the future is there's some for India appearing on this list. You can also download the materials from this. So this is the approved materials search. Been looking for things at the intermediate level in English, and these are the ones that are listed. So they're all the approved materials. And then if you click on the View tab on the right hand side, that will take you to a list of the materials, and then you can download the material. And this just shows an example of the type of material that is available. You can also look for a list of the training providers. This search has been done on training providers in Australia, and so these are the training providers who are prepared to run courses in Australia. And if you click on the View tab, it will tell you information about that particular training provider. So this particular one is Robson Environmental, which is a training provider in Australia. 28 of them currently, and that's growing all the time. These circles show the different types of material that's available. Local regulations can be added to the syllabus and student manual if that's the way that a national association wishes to go. But the course manual itself is not to be altered. That's one of the requirements of this system. The slide packs can, however, be customised if the training provider wants to do that to suit their particular teaching style, if they want to. And they don't have to use the case studies that we provide them with. They can use their own exercises from their own experience if that's what they prefer to do. In order to make comments in the community, you have to register with the site. So we ask people to just give brief details with an email address. And we've set up a project, as it's called on the system, for each of those approved courses so that comments can be made. So that's the type of, you probably can't read that from where you are, but that is just an interchange of emails about a particular subject. You can also put in your own projects so long as you've registered as a user of the community. Currently there are 200 members of that community. We'd like that number to be a lot higher than that. We'd certainly like it in the thousands. This, I don't know whether you probably can't see the globe from where you are, but there is a map of the world there with dots on it showing where the visits to the website have come from. There's a great big circle over the UK. We've had a lot of interest from the UK, as you'll understand. There's been that's India there, so there's been a fair amount of interest from India already. Behind the website we can also carry out some analysis of statistics. 80% of the visitors have come from the top 10 countries up to date. They're listed on the right hand side there. So the UK, Australia and the United States top the list. Then we've got Norway, South Africa, Brazil, Canada, Belgium, China and Spain. We've also found that 80% of the visits are from English speakers, followed by Spanish, Portuguese, that's Brazil, Norwegian, French, Chinese, Dutch and Italian. On the subject of languages, the material can be uploaded in any language, and you can get free translators like Bing and Google, which we find are quite useful to do reasonable translations of website pages, but not really the course material. That needs to be translated by either translated by a qualified hygienist or translated professionally and then checked by a qualified hygienist so that it still makes sense in that language. We've run webinars for approved training providers so that they can update their own material, what it says about them on the site. And we provide various things to enable them to do that. And we're also trying to promote the website through national associations. IOHA has a regular newsletter. The training providers are obviously